Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Liz and I'm going vegan while doing things a little extra each time. Today I'm excited to share with you my mom's Italian meatballs. Now, of course, these don't do her or my grandmom's meatballs total justice, but they are as good as it's going to get veganized. Like, these are still like taste by taste as on point as we're going to get. So good. So we're starting with 2 Impossible patties and then some parsley and garlic. And then what's going to make these meatballs moist, juicy, just utterly delectable is not breadcrumbs, but fresh, I shouldn't say fresh, stale bread soaked in milk. Yes, I'm using oat milk. Let it just sop up as much of that liquid as possible. Set it aside. We will come back to it. Just make sure it's like all thoroughly pressed. And yeah, that's gonna be our moistening agent. Now, while that's sitting, we can come back here and add our cheese. Now, why I say this doesn't live up to my mom or grandma's meatballs is we use pecorino. However, we don't have vegan pecorino. I have vegan parm. So I am adding parm. It gives it like more of like a nuttiness to the meatball, whereas I would prefer that like sharp, salty tang. So I'm adding a little bit of extra salt here as well as some pepper. And then we can come back to our bread that's been sitting. And as you can see, more of the milk has been sopped up. Just give it like another press. We're not going to just dump all of this milk in there. There will be a little bit at the bottom, but that's fine. What we're going to do is just tear this further into more, bite-sized bits and get that into the bowl before we mix everything together and get it all homogeneous. And at this point, these are going to be juicy enough, let me tell you. But my mom and my grandma would traditionally add an egg or 2 if needed, depending like on how big of a batch they were baking. So if you had the liquid version of just egg, you could add a teaspoon or 2 of that at this point as well. I did not have that on hand, and it's really not necessary. I find it doesn't add that much. It maybe just makes the texture like the littlest bit springier, but totally up to you on how traditional you want to be. And then we just need to get it all mixed. I was always taught, do not, under any circumstances, overmix your meat. Do not overmix it. You will see, like, I started with 2 hands, then I'm just really going to go in with 1 to get that leverage behind it. And I am just going to clog this meat until it just comes together and no more. And I find that this is especially helpful when working with a mock meat, like Impossible meat, because it tends to get too tough. And I really, really hate that texture. If you don't care, then don't worry about it. But that is just a little FYI from me to you. And now that we have our meat mixed, we can go ahead and form our meatballs. Again, a little difference between my mom's and my grandma's meatballs is they are like the size of softballs, and I don't need that much for myself. So I'm just making a good palm-sized portion here. You're gonna see it yields 5 decently sized meatballs. And again, that's with 2 burgers of Impossible meat. Again, you can like up this recipe as much as you want, but yeah, I think this is a really decent size. And then you just want to very lightly oil your pan because Impossible meat is already so fatty and like yields a lot of grease. So you really don't need that much. I just like to, you honestly don't even need to add any. I like to add some purely to get that extra crispy browning on the outside. And so after they sit for a minute or so, you can start flipping. As you can see here, I just rotate my way around the pan with some tongs. It's really, really simple to just keep rolling them along, getting them brown. As you can see, every single side of these are super browned and crunchy and delicious. And the thing with impossible meat too, again, because of the texture, you don't want to overcook it. You still want to retain some of that like redness inside, as well as like the moisture. You don't want it to seize up on you. So I will just rotate these along all of the sides in the pan, let them sizzle, do their thing, and then we will be good to go. I do not cover these. I do not steam my meatballs. I do not steam them. If you wanted to partially cook them here, like just quickly brown and sear them on all sides, you could then immediately transfer them to a pot of marinara and continue cooking them in that. However, I just fully cooked them through, and now I'm going to set them aside, and I will show you how good and delicious these meatballs are on the inside. So I'm just going to serve it with a little bit of marinara and, of course, even more cheese, because what would we do without more cheese? There's never enough cheese in an Italian household. Oh, it's just so good. Ugh. You can turn these into meatball subs. You can eat them with pasta. You could break them up into like a lasagna. I love meatball sandwiches. Options are endless. But look at this. Look at the moisture inside. Like, ugh. Not only that, but do you see the parsley? Do you see the garlic? Yes. Because we didn't overmix it. We have nice whole ingredients in there. Flavor punch in every single bite. I can't get enough of these, and I hope you will enjoy them as well. And I will see you all next time.